Welcome! Today we're going to be going through MyFoodLink integration with ProfitTrack. So if you're not aware of what that is, MyFoodLink is an online shopping portal where people can go and buy their goods. Now with the integration with ProfitTrack, that will send that order to the ProfitTrack system to be handled as a sale and then dispatched from the store. So before we get started into it, let's talk about the three prerequisites. So you need a ProfitTrack version of at least 3.11.5. You need to be on Windows 7 or above. To check that, all you've got to do is go Windows and E on your keyboard, right click this PC and Properties. This will come up and tell you your operating system. So I'm using Windows 10 Pro, that's higher than Windows 7, so I'm fine here. But check that locally, make sure you're on Windows 7. And the last thing you need is the license for the product. So to check that, go down here, double click on the arrows, go into File, enter registration details, and in your license packages in here, you want to have your online shopping, as you can see there. If you don't have online shopping as a module, you'll need to call Independent Solutions on 1-800-020-946 and talk to the finance department about getting that added to your registration. So if you've got all three of those, the next thing we need to do is start actually going through the install. So we need to run the ProfitTrack installer for the MyFoodLink integration. So that's located in C drive. I'll open that here. Program files x86. If you're running a 32-bit, it'll just be program files, not x86. From there, you go into SSA or Independent Solutions, depending on how old your system is. Mine's fairly new, so it'll be in Independent Solutions. Go into ProfitTrack server, go into installs, and in here you'll have the PTMF install, which is the ProfitTrack MyFoodLink install. Double click on that to install it, and it's just next, install, install. Once that's done and installed, we move on to the next step, which is the stuff inside ProfitTrack itself. So if I open up my ProfitTrack here, alright, so we're on to the actual integration part now that we've done all the prereq. So the integration is located in Setup, Integrations, Online Shopping, and here it is here. So we need to make sure we're in the right one, the MyFoodLink dropdown, not the IBA Marketplace, and that it's ticked to be enabled. So in here, we need to fill out the customer number, the tender, and our service information. So in this screen, click on New, put in your customer number. We'll put in 1003, we'll put in the name of MyFoodLink, type unknown, group unknown, tender, new, 8, online payment, or you can name it. So we'll do that. The directory to watch remains the same. Step 4, the host address and the API key, which are blurred out on the screen currently because those are test credentials. To get those in the live environment, what you do is go into the portal. I'll open that now. Go into back office settings, scroll down a little bit to POS integration, and in here you'll have the site domain and the API key just there. You copy those out, paste them into ProfitTrack, and then click Save. It is worth mentioning in the site domain you don't need the back office API part, just the remainder. So knowing that that's correct, I'm going to click Test, make sure everything gets ticks, which it does. We'll click Save, and we're now integrated. So at this point we are integrated, but we still need to do the product setup. So the products at the moment are all manual, but on top of that, they're all not going out to the portal. So let's talk about that. So to do the schedule, go into Setup, System Settings, System Options, scroll down to the Environment subheading and click on Scheduled Events, then go Add, and what you want to add is your Internet Products Export. You can either leave the name as Internet Product Export or you can rename it to MyFoodLink Export. The naming doesn't really matter, it's just what's going to show up in your scheduled events. So to set the schedule up, we want to go to every day and change it to the hour and minute that we'd like. So we want it to fire once or twice a day. Now this will depend on your store more than anything else. I would recommend starting it later in the morning and later in the afternoon to start with, and then adjusting that as needed. So most data entry will happen after the busy period in the morning and before lunchtime. So generally speaking, the morning one you'd want it at about 10 AM, and same sort of logic for the afternoon, you'd want it at about 6 PM. So this is based on 24-hour time, so in the hour field we'd put in 18 for 6 PM, go OK, and we'd rinse and repeat that every day, Internet Product Export, and 10 AM, and then click Save. So that's exporting the products from ProfitTrack, but we still need to get them to the portal. So there's two ways to do this. If we go back into the portal, we've got the download the uploader here in this same POS integration screen. So if I go through and do that, keep it, run the executable, there it is. So here's our settings. So again, the site domain is the domain that's in this screen. The API key is as well. The POS type is going to be ProfitTrack. The POS export file, now that's usually a set location. The way to tell that is if you go back to your scheduled settings, Internet Product Export, go into Edit, go into Configuration. It's this file here. You can copy and paste this into this, and that's fine. Now in here, you want to make sure it's updating every 30 minutes, and what will happen is you can see here there's been no changes. It's searching, it's searching, it's searching, and it's going to tell me whether or not it can find the file. Now I haven't exported the file, so I don't expect it to find it, so it not finding anything is totally fine. The other way of importing is if you go into products in the portal, you've got imports, and you can manually import from a chosen file from that export location. The other way is obviously automatic with the importer that we just covered, but if you need to do it manually for whatever reason, that's how you would do it. But at that point it's set up, and we can move on to how to actually use it and what it looks like when it's in use. So in ProfitTrack, to set a product as an internet product, go into your shop file, go into search either in the top left or press F3 on your keyboard. I'll press F3. Bring up the product that you want as an internet product. I'll use Coca-Cola as the example. So we'll just use the 2-liter bottle here. Now that we're in the product, if we go into stock, on the right hand side, you've got the available on internet website. This is ticked, so it's already marked as an internet product, but otherwise I'd tick that, save it, send it down. You can also do this on maths, so if I select all of these, just by spacebar and then down arrow key, spacebar to select and keep going, then set selected or F10. In here is an option to also set as an internet available item. So just there and then on or off respectively, and that will mark it. Hi, this is the editor in Post Edit. Figured we'd show just something else while we're in this screen. If you go in to the F3 search, you can go into a department, we'll say dairy for example, tick all, so you can do a whole department in one hit, set selected, and then go to the internet options and mark them all as internet available to save some time across an entire department, but you can also multi-select as we just went through. So once a product's actually ordered, it shows up in accounts, so let's go through what that looks like. So if we go into the invoices, go into all invoices, you can see here we've got one order come through, which is one that I put through. So all the dispatch and organization of that is done through the MyFoodLink portal. From ProfitTrack's end, the main reason it's here is for the picking slip. So if we go into the picking slip, you can print this out for the staff so that they can go count the stock or substitute the stock as needed. And once it's finalized and gone from this screen, you'd go into View, F3 Search, bring up your account, and in here it'll show you all of your sales once they're finalized and clear from the invoice screen. So that's how that works in basic. If you need further training on MyFoodLink, call Independent Solutions on 1-800-020-946 and talk to the professional services team. Otherwise, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.